How do you do it with so many star players to watch?
I think the job for St. Louis coming into the game is play sound defensively. If you get into a run-and-gun game with San Diego up and down the floor, you're going to be in trouble. But a strong game in goal, organized in defense, capitalize on their opportunities.
A lot of good players to watch for both teams. Let's take a look first at the St. Louis Steamers.
The nucleus of the St. Louis Steamer team lies in their midfield, with Darryl Duran and Rick Davis feeding the ball to number 9, Don Eber, who puts it in the back of the net.
Just 1 week ago in Cleveland, St. Louis showed what they were made of. Up the right wing side they'll come. They're down by a goal. They'll use the ball off the boards, a St. Louis tradition. And coming in as the 6th attacker with a header to the far post is Greg MAKOWSKI. That tied it and stunned the crowd in Richfield, Ohio. But the Steamers were not done as Greg MAKOWSKI does his best impression of Tattoo. Watch Jeff CACCIATORE running into the box, number 12. He will get this one off the boards as it gets through in traffic, and boom. He sends it right into the net. That made St. Louis a winner over Cleveland in sudden death overtime. Pat, you've won 3 out of your last 4 games, so if there's a good time to play San Diego, maybe now is the time. But how do you play against a team that's loaded like the Sockers?
Yeah, I think, John, what we have to do, we have to go out and we have to do a real good job defensively. I mean, that almost goes without saying. And sometimes when you play San Diego, perhaps you key on 1 or 2 players, and they just have so much firepower, and you have to emphasize just a good team defense and go from there. And I think the other thing is that they play with so much confidence at home that you have to, you can't be tentative in terms of looking to attack yourself. You really have to commit some players into the attack, and you know San Diego is going to score their goals, so you have to go out and you've got to make sure that you create enough good chances where you can score your goals. And I think our whole game plan is to get to the 4th quarter with having a chance to win.
And, Shep, the Sockers have all kinds of great players to look out for today.
And if I had to pick 3 players that could scare the wits offensively out of any team, it'd be Steve Jungle, his teammate Bronco Segota, and number 18, Hugo Perez.
Segota comes into the game red hot. He has scored a goal in 8 straight games. This one counted against Wichita. He can go with either foot, but it's the right foot that scores the goal in the 9-0 shutout win against the Wings. Segota, though, not only is a great shooter, but a passer as well. And on this 2-on-1 break, he gives it to Steve Jungle. He makes no mistake about it. The killer goal, and San Diego goes into first place. Coach, what is your strategy tonight for the St. Louis Steamers?
To end up one goal more than they have. But I think early on we expect them to be very defensive. And the sooner we can start dictating the game by being in the lead, the happier I'll be. I think we've got to treat St. Louis with a lot of respect because they're a very good defensive side. And every team that comes here to San Diego play more defense than at any other time because I think they're nervous of our offense. And we could get caught, of course, at home, being too eager to score and then letting goals in the back ourselves. So we've got to be a little bit disciplined defensively, which we have been in the past few weeks. And I think that's why our record is improved in these last few weeks.
We have the St. Louis Steamers, 10 wins and 11 losses, 3rd place in the Western Division, going up against the division leaders, the San Diego Sockers, who are 12 wins and 6 losses. And we'll have the opening Sports Arena as San Diego gets set to meet St. Louis. I'm John Paul Della Camera, along with Shep Messing, starting out tonight for the respective clubs. Slobo Elievsky in goal for the Steamers. Steve Petcher out there on defense as we look at Slobo first. Outstanding season again for Slobo, 3.69 goals against average, and he has won 8 and lost 7. His counterpart, Zoltan Toth, one-time backup keeper to our color commentator, Shep Messing, a 3.60 average, 6 wins, 4 losses, fresh off a 9-0 shutout over Wichita last week. The rest of the starters in a moment as Bill Maxwell is a senior referee, Brian Hall, the other official out on the field, Newville Nugent is the other official. Don Ebert trying, but he's broken up quickly, and Gene Woolrich on the go for the Sockers over midfield. Leads for Jungle, the all-time leading scorer in the MISL. For Segota, Bronco toes it right side. Quick shot on the part of Pavillo was blocked. Steamers, Don Ebert trying to move it out of the zone. And now it comes back to Kevin Crow. Sockers wanting to get off to the quick start here at home. They've won 5 straight, and this is the beginning of a 5-game homestand. But St. Louis thought they had the ball, but Segota collision doesn't get called against Davis, who's out there on the right wing side. Woolrich sending it in. Mishandled. Segota goes down on the part of Petra. Slobo coming out to clear it, and it goes all the way to the other side. So it's a little bit physical, Shep, in the early going, but they're letting them play.
A little bit of confusion for the St. Louis Steamers. Confusion at the top of the box. San Diego got off a shot.
Brian Quinn leading it now to the corner. Another collision, and this time the foul is going to be called. And the crowd tells you who the call is against. On San Diego, their first foul. It is on Gary Collier. Slovo tosses it upfield for Don Ebert, who leads the Steamers in the all-time categories offensively. He's Mr. Everything offensively for St. Louis. Carl Rose now sends one, but it goes out of play. And will be San Diego's ball on the kick. And there's no score. If you're just joining us, 13:44 remaining in the opening quarter. There's Steve Petcher, who was just brought back to St. Louis, a very popular player with the Steamers, obtained from Kansas City in a deal for Stuart Lee.
We saw early on the strategy of the St. Louis Steamers. They want to get everybody back, play a strong defense, and as soon as they get the opportunity in the midfield, dump a ball into the corners, make San Diego turn, play the ball behind their back.
St. Louis' best chance to win would be if it's a low-scoring game. San Diego has a lot of firepower. Ball played upfield to Brian Quinn, a tough midfielder. Shaking loose, but Cacciatore is in there to win the ball. Right side looks for Redmond Lane. Lane upfield. Nebo Bandovich battling in front of the Sockers bench. Bandovich, 20-year-old player from Yugoslavia in the first division. He can make things happen. On the left wing side now it is MAKOWSKI for the Steamers. Scoreless tie from San Diego intended for Bandovich. He's guilty of holding, and a quick restart for the Sockers, and here they come. Ladouceur on the right to Brian Quinn, leading it for Julie V. Touching the ball on the right side, but doesn't get to Ladouceur. He holds, plays it off the boards, loose in the box. A little confusion once more, but the Steamers break out with Redmond Lane over the midfield line, but Woolrich gets in the way, and Rod Hermes as well. St. Louis tries to get it back, and they do. Tony Bellinger, only all-star for 6 straight years in the MISL on the right wing side, and Cacciatore off the boards. Bellinger tried for the rebound. It doesn't go. Kevin Crow leading it for Woolrich, but it's going to be too far, and MAKOWSKI will get it back for the Steamers. Back to his keeper, Ilievsky. He's in trouble, but V can't get to it. Sends it over the midfield line. Crow heading it back, but the Steamers come back strong, and what a collision there. Play on, says the official. And now the Sockers get it back. Perez at the red line of St. Louis. Nice cut on the ball. Good move, Perez. Right wing side, Woolrich, a shot. Right foot save by Slovo. Upfield for Bandovich, but he can't beat Kevin Crow. First big save of the day for Slovo.
Ilievsky with a good kick save, but more important, early in the game, we do see some hard tackling. The officials letting play go. The players in the first few minutes of the game want to get a feel for how the officials are going to call the game. They're letting things go. That makes for an exciting contest.
Mark Fredrickson sweeping the ball back for Don Ebert against Julie V, who misses on the tackle. Now it is Carl Rose. Nice cut to the outside. Slowing it down now at the San Diego red line. Now runs it into the corner. In a scoreless tie. Off the boards, but Zoltan Toth is right there. Not enough of a challenge there for Zoltan Toth. On the right side, Kevin Crow. Now field for Brian Quinn, and the Sockers bring it upfield. 11:28 to go. A scoreless opening quarter. Here's Bronco. Outside the box. Real quick diving save for Slovo, and it goes out of play. A corner kick coming up when we return. It's scoreless from San Diego. You're watching the MISL on ESPN.
Time considerations, we are going to move ahead in our soccer action. We're going to rejoin the game at the beginning of the second period. The score is San Diego 1 and St. Louis nothing.
Well, when we last left you, we flashed this question up on the board. Shep Messing, what goalkeeper holds the MISL record for the lowest single-season goals against average? The answer is...
Well, I know it's not me. It's probably Slovo. Slovo's a safe bet if you talk about any goalkeeping record in the MISL. 3.67, 1983-84 season.
They say for a goalkeeper, Shep, that if you get your average under 4 points, that's outstanding. So far this year, there are about 4 or 5 goalkeepers that have done that. The league has tightened up a little bit defensively this season. There are 1 goal less per game.
There's no doubt about it. There's Slovo exhorting his teammates. They really played a good first quarter. Nothing to hang their heads about. They had great opportunities. Slovo, a cornerstone of this St. Louis Steamer team. Let's watch Franco Segota. Watch him pivot without looking up. He knows Jungle is there. He's played with Jungle for 6 or 7 seasons. Steve Jungle knows he's going to get that pass. That's the beautiful communication between Segota and Jungle.
And you're right, St. Louis didn't play bad at all on the shots. They had 9 to San Diego 7. Zoltan Toth was the difference. He made 4 saves. Slovo made 3. Let's see what happens here in the second quarter as the Sockers lead over St. Louis 1-0. Ball is played up for Perez, and he's immediately taken down by Steve Petcher. Helped back on his feet.
That's great. Steve Petcher, I love it. Big, strong American kid, tremendous soccer player. He kicks Hugo Perez in the back, picks him up and says, let's play soccer. I love it. That's St. Louis Steamer soccer.
Yeah, about 5 seconds into the quarter. And that's called the payback, I guess. Julie V doesn't agree with it. Fouls are 1 apiece. Scores 1-0 San Diego. Up on the left for Duran as he tries to go back for Ebert. Cut off. Nice play by Crow. Right side, Quinn. Back for Perez, but Duran is there. Young Daryl Duran leads the team, St. Louis, with 12 assists and 18 points. On the left, Petcher in the corner, blasting it off the boards. Toth getting a piece of that. Up for Quinn. Now for Julie V. V sending it long for Quinn. Slobo's way out, just lobbing it. Up for Petcher. Against him is Julie V. It's sent over to Rose from Duran. Carl Rose with some high pressure against him by San Diego. Now on the right side for Petcher, who bumps into Julie V. And then backed off. He thought there was going to be a foul called on him, but there was none called. Fouls are even at 1 apiece. 1-0 lead for San Diego. Quinn for V. Couldn't quite turn and make the play.
That's a case where everybody in the stadium, all his teammates know that Julie V is alone. He doesn't know it.
Quinn with a shot. It's blocked on its way in. Rose heading it off the boards for Frederickson. It almost goes out of play. Carl Rose battling his team down 1-0. Steamers in the light blue. Rose trying to act his way to getting a call. He doesn't get it. Steamers are in the light blue. Sockers are in the navy blue shorts with the white shirts, some gold trim and blue. Sockers have won 5 straight. St. Louis has won 3 out of 4, so you'd never like to play, I guess, against the San Diego Sockers, but if you've won 3 out of 4, now's the best time. If any time is a good time. Cacciatore in there battling, but Clavillo will win it. Fernando, great vision. He knew that Brian Quinn was right up there over midfield. Lead ball, there's Clavillo, and he shot it wide. He came all the way, Shep, from the back to figure in that play, and the Steamers just fell asleep on it.
Well, he's arguably one of the fastest defenders in the league. Clavillo getting on the end of that pass from Quinn, putting it past Slobo, and here they go again on the counter.
Well, there's a late call, and that's why Ron Newman is upset. I don't think the official Hall was going to call it, but then he saw that if he didn't, it would have been a 2-on-1, and there was a foul, it looked like, from here.
And that's a correct decision by the official. He has to wait to see what happens on the ensuing play before he calls it.
Banovich, only 20 years old. 8 goals already, taking a shot. Toth blocked it. I heard a whistle, but it did not come from the field. Somebody's got one in the stands, which could be not only dangerous, but very confusing as well.
A little bit of sloppy play here early in the second quarter. Neither team getting a grip of the midfield. Neither team really having possession of the ball. Some poor passing. It's going end to end.
Perez is broken up by Bick, and now Cacciatore tries to settle it. On the left, Makowski. Against him is Collier. He runs it to the outside. Try to cut it inside. It's blocked. Perez. That was not too artistic, but the Sockers do bring it back on the left side for Jungle. For Wilrich. Gene Wilrich. Blocked. Now they're going to call a foul the other way in Wilrich. And there's going to be a penalty, and it's an unsportsmanlike conduct because Perez blasted the ball after the whistle, and you're not allowed to do that.
That's a correct call. The official right on top of the play. Jungle arguing, but the decision was correct.
We're going to take it to a break. 12:09 to go in the second quarter. The Steamers will have the power play when our soccer coverage returns. He's not writing a new book down there. He's already got one on the market, but what he's doing is diagramming a play. St. Louis needs a power play goal, and that's what Pat's diagramming for them right now.
That's good camera action. Pat McBride telling Carl Rose he must get more penetration. He's got to come up and get that defender at the top of the key to commit himself, either so that Carl can make a pass or he could dish it out to the side. But they must work together as a unit, and the key is that point man. In this case, Carl Rose, and we see McBride talking to him.
Ron Newman couldn't be too happy about that last penalty because it was needless, and it was basically frustration. Wilrich thought that the call was going to go against St. Louis. When it went against San Diego, Perez got a little bit hot and blasted the ball, which you're not allowed to do after the whistle. So it's an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty at 2:51, and for the second time today, St. Louis will have a power play, but they're going up against that no-goal patrol.
Well, any coach in the league, any coach in any sport for that matter, says they don't mind the physical mistakes, but the mental ones, the lack of discipline. In that case, Hugo Perez, he knows the rules. Regardless of how upset you are with the play, he blasted that ball into the stands, and now his team has to pay the price.
Davis on the left to Redmond Lane. Lane setting in the box. Great tip in by Don Ebert, and it's tied at 1. So very quickly, Perez's penalty has cost San Diego.
That's the beauty of indoor soccer. One mistake, you get punished. Donnie Ebert at the bottom of the box, pointing. Now watch Redmond Lane. He knows what he's looking for. That's not a shot at goal. That's the Donnie Ebert. Zoltan Toth has no chance. Ebert actually behind Zo's peripheral vision. That's a set play. That's probably the play Pat McBride diagrammed just before we saw it happen.
I'm sure that's what he did. Lane going all the way. That's a pass, like you say, not a shot. And Ebert will get his 12th of the year from Redmond Lane at 302. So Don Ebert, after almost basically being knocked out against the boards, he was dazed, comes back on and scores the tying goal a few shifts later. Julie B for San Diego in a 1-1 tie. That's a big goal psychologically for St. Louis, but look out, Crow stopped by Slobo, who just basically stood his ground. That may have just hit him as opposed to him saving it.
Well, a lot of times you see a shot hit a goalkeeper that looks like he's just standing there. That's the art of goalkeeping. Positioning your body in the proper position between the ball and the center of the goal. That's great positioning. It looks like the ball is just hitting you, but that's good goalkeeping.
Protecting his angles. Perez to Hermes. Doesn't get a good shot away, and now Davis comes back. St. Louis has just tied it 1 apiece from the San Diego Sports Arena. So San Diego will have to work harder to get back into the lead, and they'll start from their own end. Neither team really playing any kind of high pressure, at least so far. Right now, St. Louis picking up San Diego around the midfield, so half carpet pressure. Ball is deflected back now to Ilievsky.
It's interesting because the pace has really slowed down. The intensity hasn't. It's just that neither team is pressing. Both teams playing at a slow pace. When it's a 50-50 ball, they're tackling hard.
Davis almost makes a great play. He's got a man in the box. McEwen can't get a good foot on the ball, and Toth is up. San Diego immediately looking to counter with a long pass for B. But now they have to slow it down. Played on the right side, Clavillo in front of his own bench area. Now to Hermes as Clavillo gets a breather. Catacalidis will come on for San Diego. 10:42 to go, second quarter. Tied at 1. Hope you're enjoying this one here on ESPN. I'm John Paul Della Camera along with Shep Messing. St. Louis with the ball and a tie score at 1. There's a pass off the boards, but no one was there except for Hermes for San Diego. So the Sockers regain possession. Kaz Dana, named in every poll as the best player to ever play in Poland. Getting some carpet time tonight. He's not played all that much this season. On the right, Segota. Tells you what kind of depth San Diego has when Dana, who was a good scorer last year, sits on the bench a good part of the time. Foul is going to be called on Duncan McEwen. So the Steamers pick up their first foul. It's played on the right. Catacalidis, the shot pushed out by Slobo. He was falling down as he made that save.
And I think that's a good save because I saw Slobo initially react incorrectly. He was actually back on his heels, leaning back. The great athlete that he is, he still pushed that ball away out of danger.
That ball had some good spin on it as well. On the right, Carl Rose will get it. Fakes to go back to Slobo. Now sends it long. Wanted to go to McEwen, but now it's cleared out of play. Last touch, Catacalidis. As we look at the Steamers bench, they've got to be excited by getting that tie at 1. We look at Don Ebert right there, who has that goal that tied it up. 9:36 to go in the opening half. It is all tied up at 1 goal apiece. Don Ebert was the 1981 MISL Rookie of the Year. Back the other way, San Diego trying to get it from MAKOWSKI. They do. Right side, they spring Segota. Look at the cut to the middle. He's chipped down. That should be 2 minutes, and it is. It's going to be 2 minutes because Segota was off to the races, and he gets the correct call, and San Diego will have a power play. And interesting to note, Shep, San Diego, for all the great stars, they're only ranked 10th with a man advantage.
Well, I think you hit it on the head because they have so many great stars, John Paul. The power play or the success of the power play is predicated upon unselfish play. Every one of San Diego's players is a superstar. Perhaps they haven't yet learned to dish that ball off, get it to the open man, and let's just connect. Let's just score a goal. Each and every one of those San Diego players on the floor is a superstar. Maybe that's the problem on the power play.
I'm willing to predict at the end of the year they will not be 10th. They'll be a lot closer to the top. Jungle looks like he'll be the one to put it in on the set piece. Gives it to Segota. Quick shot blocked by Darryl Duran, and it goes out of play. This is going to be a real challenge. They may be ranked 10th, but everybody on St. Louis really has a job. I mean, you've got V out there, Quinn, Jungle, Segota, and Perez. There's no 5 players in the league you could match against these guys offensively. V will give it to Segota. In the corner, Quinn. Off the boards. Slobo can't find it, but Davis can. Up strong for the header was Quinn for Jungle. Quinn again, blocked by the left foot of Slobo. Loose in the box and taken out Steve Petcher with a heads-up play. Double team now along the boards, but he just moves it down the field, and Zoltan Toth will try to help out the offense. A minute 34 on the San Diego power play. It's tied at 1 with 8:54 to go before halftime. Segota to Julie V. V by the penalty arc, dishes it off. Perez in the corner. Jungle back for Hugo. Doesn't get enough on it. Backfield out of danger by Bellinger. St. Louis gets a good break there. Perez didn't quite kill that ball. He didn't get enough on it, and Slobo was able to get a piece. Julie V with it.
That's just unbelievable. A great give and go in the corner from V to Hugo Perez to Jungle, back to Perez. Perez was all alone in the box. Somehow that ball cleared.
Here's Hugo again trying to make up for it, but Slobo went down to make a nice save there. 55 seconds left in the power play. Slobo throws long. Another interesting stat for you. St. Louis has 6 shorthanded goals. That's incredible. Some teams don't get 6 in 2 or 3 years. Segota coming back. Cuts right for V. Off the boards. Open man. Quinn. Turnaround. Blocked by Davis. He'll try it again. For Julie V. Chipped in for Jungle. They wanted it up high for Jungle to head it home, but it was knocked out of play by the Steamers. And we're going to have an officials timeout on the field. So we'll take the timeout as well. It's all tied here in San Diego. The Sockers won. The Steamers won. 5 straight and 7 of the last 8. Woolrich and V are 2 major reasons why as we look at their stats.
Well, again, those are not the primary scorers on the San Diego team, and that shows the depth of it. Gene Woolrich, Julie V, superstars in their own right, but the scoring load usually falls on Branko Segota and Steve Jungle.
Jungle in the box, and there's Segota. So it's 2-1 San Diego on a power play, and that's something during the officials' timeout that Ron Newman probably set up. The set pieces, so dangerous, Shep, in indoor soccer, and maybe St. Louis not quite ready for it after that break.
Well, we've seen it both ways. We saw Segota on the first goal. Here's Jungle. He can pass the ball as well. It beats 4 players. And watch Branko Segota. He's falling backwards. He hits it with his right foot. Slobo perhaps shielded on the play, but that ball in the back of the net, we've had it both ways. Segota to Jungle, now Jungle to Segota.
Branko's 21st goal of the year. He solidifies his spot as the 2nd leading scorer in the MISL behind, you guessed it, Steve Jungle. Branko has now scored a goal in 9 straight games, at least 1 goal. Here's Jungle coming back. Trying for momentum for San Diego. They lead it 2-1. He leads it on the left, but not enough. It was too far away from Hermes. He hooks it to the left. San Diego has a great opportunity to get another goal. Davis coming back the other way. You don't want to fall a couple goals down to San Diego and give them momentum, so St. Louis wants to keep it close. They trail 2-1 on the right side. Beck shooting it, but Zoltan Toth just scoops it up. Dishes it off on the right for Perez. Now for Jungle. Perez to Kevin Crow. San Diego Sockers, 4 straight indoor championships. And they only made 1 change in terms of a newcomer, and they brought Julie V back, and he was their all-time leading scorer before being dealt away to Las Vegas. Kevin Crow. Now up the field it comes. Jungle dump. No foul. Yes, there is. A little bit late, but the foul is called nonetheless. It's 2-1 San Diego leading over St. Louis. 3 fouls on each team as Kevin Crow gets set for the restart.
And the problem, JP, is for St. Louis to get San Diego out of their pace game. They have to interrupt the flow of play. San Diego can't be allowed space and time to do what they want.
Crow with some space on the left to Woolrich. Miss kicks it, but Jungle almost heads it back. Ilievsky throwing it long on the left. Don Ebert running hard against Katakalitis, who plays it right back to Zoltan Toth, and he wants to play it upfield quickly. San Diego starting to pick up the pace a bit. Woolrich looking for Jungle. Ilievsky kicks it ahead on the left. Don Ebert, who has the 1 St. Louis goal to Durant. St. Louis with a break here. It was 3-on-2, but now they lose that. Redmond Lane will get it. Left footing it for Ebert, who headed it. Just got a piece of it, but a little too high. Quinn on the left wing side for Clavillo. Reverses it for Chacha Namdar, one of the great names in the MISL. Along the near side, Brian Quinn. Bring it to the penalty arc. Takes a shot, but he misses. It's wide. Namdar in there battling for it. St. Louis after it. In front of the Steamers bench, Bandovich battling with two of the Sockers. San Diego wins it. Aggressive play by Brian Quinn. Look out. He's dumped, but Sammy Bick got the ball, and that's why there was no foul called or penalty.
That's a good hard tackle by Sammy Bick. That's his trademark, and the officials right on top of it. Let play go on.
Bandovich in the corner, blocked. Clavillo chipping it, and it goes out of play. He wanted to hit it off the glass and keep it in. It's 2-1 San Diego. We're coming right back to more Soccer on ESPN. Jungle, who has 1 goal tonight, now has 20 on the year, and Segota has 21. On the set piece, Carl Rose shooting it, just missing. Nobody home for the rebound. Clavillo was right there. On the right side, Chacho Namdar sending it back for Clavillo, and now back for Zoltan Toth. 5:18 to go here in the first half, and San Diego leads 2-1, and if they could just keep that lead at 2-1, Pat McBride won't be too upset at halftime because he wants to keep it close. That's St. Louis's best chance to win it in a low-scoring game. On the right wing side, Brian Quinn off the boards. Slobo missed it. No trouble yet as Duran. Good poise there for the young player like Duran to kick it right back to his keeper. If you kick it too hard, you may put it into your own net.
Well, there's no doubt St. Louis doing a good job getting back. They're in the game. They're creating some opportunities. Here you see the foul going against San Diego.
St. Louis is working hard, but that has been something they've been noted for, regardless of who was coaching, whether it was Pat McBride or Dave Clements, Al Trost. On the right side, Duran, nice cut. No chance to shoot. Now Frederickson to Duran in the corner. They love to use the boards, but that time the angle was broken up. San Diego back with it. Julie V, a legend, basically, here in San Diego. Plays it back the other way. Hermes to Kanakalides, marked by Bandovich. Now on the left, Hermes, picked up by Daryl Duran. It's a 2-1 San Diego lead with 4:19 to go here in the first half.
And this is a slow pace. San Diego brings that ball all the way back, trying to get St. Louis to come out of their defensive mode. Ron Newman going into the game knows St. Louis is going to pack it in the back. We see Bellinger getting upset. San Diego having the poise and the experience, not always to want to press forward. Sometimes the best way to go forward is play the ball back, open things up.
San Diego will have a free kick. Kaz Dana will take it. Shooting percentage in the last 3 games, 40% for the San Diego Sockers. They don't waste time. Ball played into the box. Great anticipation as Bellinger headed it out. One of the reasons why Tony Bellinger will never be among the league leaders in blocked shots. Lots of times players can't get a chance to shoot against him. That was one reason. That does not show up on a score sheet. And there Bellinger draws the foul on Julie V. You know, when you intercept the pass, Shep, you're stopping the team from getting a shot on goal, so therefore there is no block shot. And Bellinger does that as well as anyone.
There's no doubt about it. Tony Bellinger, an all-star for 6 seasons. The best way is get in front and prevent that ball from getting to that attacking player.
Carl Rose didn't put that where he wanted, but Davis almost does. In the corner, a battle for it. Good hustle from Ebert. Frederickson in there after it. Ebert getting a kick. Frederickson looking. It's towed out by San Diego, but Rose keeps it alive in the left wing for Frederickson by the penalty arc. Frederickson leaves it off for Rose. Ebert wants the ball, gets it. They tried to give and go. It doesn't work as Ebert was dumped, and Julie V comes up with it. San Diego leading at 2-1. He plays it to the outside. Bronco Segota. Good ball. Julie V taking the shot, blocked by St. Louis. Tony Bellinger and Slobo kicks this one a mile.
Well, again, the vision of Julie V. He actually was trying to tunnel the defensive player and pass that ball to the far post. A great 2-on-1. St. Louis gets back and breaks it up.
But what a great pass by Segota. Long ball now for V. Julie's pass blocked a couple of times, and now it's Slobo picking it up with Segota on the doorstep. Up for Tony Bellinger. Tony running it strong over midfield. Segota, good recovery run, and the ball is kicked right back to Zoltan Toth. 2:45 to go first half. San Diego leading St. Louis 2-1.
And again, the slow pace. Kevin Crowe coming out of the back. San Diego really dictating the pace of play. Pat McBride happy it's a 2-1 game. Now they must start going forward a bit when they get the ball.
Woolridge to the outside. Off the boards. Nobody there for the rebound. Just blue jerseys, light blue, on the part of the Steamers, and Petcher brings it back over midfield. Petcher gives it up on the right wing side. Bick to Duncan McEwen. Off the boards now to Petcher. Steve sending it for Ebert. Wanted Cacciatore, but he finds Jungle instead.
And the execution just not there at the finish for St. Louis. They're bringing the ball out of the defensive third through the midfield. Then the passing is breaking down.
Steve Jungle the other way. Toes it on the right for Kevin Crow. Crow back for Jungle. Gives it back to Crow. The shot's going right off the far post. And Jungle sets it up. San Diego leads 3-1.
Kevin Crow, the leading defender in terms of goals scored for San Diego. What a great run. And watch Crow make his run. Jungle knows where he's going. He sets that ball up on a tee for him. And Kevin Crow cracks it. No chance at all for Slobo. Watch Kevin. He gives the ball to Steve Jungle. Jungle tees it up for him right where Crow is going to run. He runs into the space. He hits it with the right foot off the far post. Slobo in a split. No chance to make that save.
And your former teammate, Steve Jungle, now has a hand or a foot, if you will, in each of the 3 San Diego goals. 1 goal and 2 assists for Jungle. Time of the goal, 13-10, and that's a bad time for St. Louis to give one up. Unless they can get one back here, San Diego could take a 2-goal lead into the dressing room at halftime. Psychologically, that's a lot better than being up by the 1.
Well, again, watch San Diego playing back towards Toth. Toth puts the ball at his feet. They're dictating the pace of the game, and then all of a sudden, boom, the ball to Jungle, an assist and a goal.
Well, we've got a foul. We'll have to wait and see who it's on. Holding is the indication, but it's on St. Louis, and that's 4 fouls. Just noticing up on our board that San Diego is guilty of 5. Remember, in the MISL, 6 fouls, and you sit out for a couple of minutes, and then it goes to 12 in increments of 6 right after that. Last year, it went from 6 to 9, and people didn't like that. It was too quick to get 2 men into the box. Ball is played back to Toth. Up the field for Quinn. Sent back for Steve Jungle. Just trying to maintain possession of the ball. A minute to go. First half. 3-1. San Diego over St. Louis. But St. Louis playing, I think, better than to be 2 goals down. On the right, Vick making a block for Darryl Durant. St. Louis could have gotten burnt there if they didn't win that ball. Jeff Cacciatore holding it. Vick is wide open. Pass over there, and Jungle had time to react, and look out. San Diego 3-on-2. Jungle. Perez is breaking free. Jungle cuts to the middle. Looks for Perez, but it's blocked by Cacciatore. Jungle right away apologizing for that.
Well, the problem on that counterattack, Jungle trying to get position. We watch St. Louis going the other way, but Jungle trying to come down the middle lane, the same as in basketball. Couldn't take that position, and that's why St. Louis broke up the attack.
Bandovich leaving it off. Now Petcher finding Rick Davis. 14 seconds to go before halftime. Davis looking to get one back for the Steamers. Trying to draw that 6th foul. Can't do it. And now Collier will kick it. And a fan punches it back out. I saw a game in Chicago one night, Shep, and I never saw this before. The ball went into the stands, and a spectator headed it back out on the field, got a nice ovation.
Well, now you know the MISL has made
game,
it.
Right?
When fans are heading that ball back into play.
They're catching on.
Look at that graphic. 9-1 when leading at halftime. That's the mark of a championship team. But St. Louis, they are in the game. They settled back, didn't have as good a second quarter perhaps as they'd like. They've had their opportunities.
Pat McBride looking very concerned there. 5 seconds left. St. Louis putting it in play from in front of the San Diego bench, right up for Slobo. He's going to try the long pass for Ebert, the header, and Zoltan has it stopped on the short side, and that's it for the first half of play, and the San Diego crowd loves it because the Sockers, division leaders in the West, have taken a 3-1 lead here at halftime. Stay with us. Shep and I will be back with more soccer coverage and some miscellanea. When we upstairs, the San Diego Sockers are leading over the St. Louis Steamers 3-1. My partner, Shep Messing, is downstairs with the architect of the San Diego Sockers, Ron Newman. We go downstairs to Shep.
Ron, a class gentleman, a winning coach. Your tactics before the game to slow down the pace, perhaps net late St. Louis pressure all over the field.
Well, we knew St. Louis would come out and defend us as much as possible. We just had to pick up whatever goals we could. I wanted to go in at half-time with a reasonable lead because in the second half, I think the clock starts working in our favor, and they're going to have to open up, and when they do, I hope then we can take advantage of it. It's going to be important, I think, the next goal.
You have an awesome team. Maybe the worst enemy the San Diego Sockers might have, temperaments, egos, personalities. Hugo Perez a bit upset during the first half?
Not really. The game's not really going for Hugo just lately, and he's trying to get his form back. He was brilliant in the early part of the season before he got hurt. He hurt his eye, and since he's come back, he struggled a little bit to get his form back, and it's a little frustrating for him, but he'll be back, and he'll be one of the best players again, I'm sure.
Well, you're putting together things at the right time in the season. You're on a 5-game winning streak. You had a good first half. Any major changes for the second half, or everything going well?
I think we've got to show a lot of patience. You know, it's so easy to get over-eager to please the fans and go forward, you know, and then leave ourselves vulnerable for a bad goal, and then the game changes around. We've got to be patient and just try to get the next goal at the right time and let the clock do the rest.
Thanks very much, Ron Newman. Back to you, John Paul.
Thank you, Shep. And Ron, it is halftime here in San Diego as we look at the Steamers coming out 3-1. San Diego Sockers are leading over the St. Louis Steamers, and we're going to be taking a look at the last couple of goals that were scored. Segota will score at the 7:05 mark. He'll be assisted by Jungle off the set piece. Jungle to Bronco, and he cuts it to the inside, beating Slobo Ilievsky. That was off the set piece from the corner at 7:05 of the second quarter. That was on a power play, and it came, if you remember, right after a timeout was called, an official's timeout. And here is Kevin Crowe bringing it up the field. He's going to look for Steve Jungle, and then he's going to follow the pass. There he is coming into your screen, and he hits the far post. Nothing that Slobo Ilievsky could do. In fact, really nothing that Slobo could do on any of the 3 goals that have been scored against him. And with that last goal, as we look at Kevin Crowe right there, San Diego takes that 3-1 lead. As Ron Newman had said before, the next goal could be a very big one. St. Louis gets it, and it's 3-2, and then they don't have to worry about opening up. But if San Diego gets it, then it's 4-1, and even though there's plenty of time left, that clock can work against you. And if St. Louis opens it up, then it'd be more susceptible to counterattacks. And you don't like to see, if you're St. Louis or anybody playing against San Diego coming at you in waves with a counterattacking with the great players that they have. These two clubs have met twice already this season. St. Louis lost here 6-3 was the final on November the 30th. Jungle had a couple of goals. Segota had 3. Carl Rose led the Steamers with 2. Then on December 27th, a wild one in St. Louis. San Diego beat St. Louis 8-7 in that game. Don Ebert had a couple of goals. So did Redmond Lane for the Steamers. Segota had a couple. So did Julie V for San Diego. And in the halftime statistics, we see that the Sockers have outshot St. Louis 17-11. But the major reason is because they outshot them 10-2 in that second quarter. The saves show Slobo with 8 and Zoltan Toth with 5. It doesn't tell you how many of them were spectacular saves, and there are at least a couple, 2 or 3 for each of those teams. The fouls are 8 apiece. That's a little bit misleading because this game has been a lot rougher than a total of 16 fouls in the opening half, and each side has been victimized by penalties. It said 1 apiece, but actually there were 3 penalties, 2 on San Diego, 1 on St. Louis. Second half has begun. Steve Petcher sending it back to Ilievsky. It is a 3-1 lead for the San Diego Sockers. Slobo starting to move out, and of course if St. Louis ever wants to change style a little bit, they can do that by sending Slobo up a little bit more. He's maintained his poise back there and stayed back for a good part of the opening half. But you really got to play that way against San Diego. Here's Ebert on the run right wing. Ebert with 1 St. Louis goal, the only one thus far today. Segota stealing it. Quickly, he's looking for that break for Jungle, but Duran is there. That's how quickly San Diego, though, strikes back. They know where everyone is out in the field. Tremendous vision. Chacha Namdar now to Segota from Wilrich. Segota to the left wing, and all that was there was Bill Maxwell, the referee.
That's a good point. Well, twice I've seen Bronco Segota look up with his peripheral vision, pick up coach Bill Maxwell out of the corner of his eye and think that was a San Diego player.
Ball is played back the other way. Bandovich with a chance, but he's in very deep. Now leaves it. Look at that. That's going to be 2. Redmond Lane. Is that just a foul? Well, Redmond Lane has every reason to argue that. That's 2 minutes. He is hauled down just outside the box, or it should have been a penalty kick.
Watch the spin. Redmond Lane. Kevin Crowe says, hey, I ain't going to lose this guy in front of the goal mouth. I'm going to yank him down.
Well, St. Louis has every reason to complain about that. Darryl Duran to Petcher. Quick shot. Fingertip save by Zoltan Toth. He'll try it again, and clearing it out is Claviel. Look out here. Segota has Ilievsky out, and we don't see anything, just like you. Ilievsky and Segota must have collided. Ron Newman screaming for a penalty. So maybe it's even now. Duran with a shot blocked by Claviel. If Slobo misses that ball, it's a goal easily. Petcher the other way. Right side to Duran. Cutting. Petcher knocked down in the box. He heads it to Bandovich. That would have been a great assist shot.
Steve Petcher lying down at the box, gets that pass, and lying on the floor, heads it over, but no goal.
Lane with a shot. Petcher's one of those guys, he never quits. He's a true MISL player. Petcher with it. Off the boards, and it's going to go the other way into the crowd. But Steve Petcher really showed you that you're never really out of a play until you think that you're out of it yourself. And look at Ron Newman. He's really hot, but it could have went the other way on the opposite side. We're going to look at Slobo's play and see if we can see it from this angle.
Well, Slobo out there committing himself. He's got nothing else he can do but take down Bronco Segota. If he doesn't take him down, it's a goal. And you saw Ron Newman leaning over the dasher board screaming for a 2-minute penalty.
Yeah, he wasn't giving the peace sign. He wanted 2 minutes. There's Slobo, great goalkeeper. He really revolutionized this game of indoor soccer from a goalkeeper standpoint. And now we see a lot of other players. Victor Nogueira, for one, in Chicago, who likes to come out and use the feet. Wichita, with Jan Olesen, even scored a goal this year, and it was against Slobo.
Well, I'm not a great believer in it, John Paul. I mean, it's a great aspect as a sixth attacker, but the bottom line is, as a goalkeeper, stay in the net and use your hands, and let's not underestimate how good Slobo is at doing just that.
Yeah, your first job is to stop the ball. Frederickson, look at that backfield. Segota, open man was V, and a great recovery run by Mark Frederickson that also doesn't show up on your statistics sheet because he saves a goal. Cacciatore the other way, looking, blocked. He's in there still battling, and he'll win it. Cacciatore, the smallest player out in the field, no longer the smallest player in the league. I believe that would go to Stan Cummins of Minnesota. Tony Bono also in that category for the Strikers, but Cacciatore for years was the league's smallest player. Bellinger, nice cut to the middle, takes the shot, but it's wide. Rebound, MAKOWSKI puts it upstairs. He'd love to get that one back and have another try. 12:06 to go, third quarter. San Diego, St. Louis 1. We're coming right back.
That's me.
Look at the Steamers. They trail 3-1. Look at Pat McBride's record as coach. 115 wins, 126 losses. A very popular coach in St. Louis, here for his second tour of duty with the Steamers. On the left, MAKOWSKI finds Jeff Cacciatore. Steamers bring it into the attack zone for Ebert. Wants to turn. Takes the shot off the crossbar, and Cacciatore bumped, I think, enough from behind by Julie V to miss that shot. V on the strong run the other way. Right side to Quinn. Doing what Chet Messing had said before. They play the ball back before they go forward. Here's Perez off the boards. Nobody there at the edge of the box, and Cacciatore will get it.
St. Louis, on the other hand, doing what they want to accomplish, setting up plays off the boards, off the glass. In that case, just missing an opportunity in front of Zoltan Toth.
Bellinger trying to lead the attack. Now looking on the far boards. San Diego, though, will get it. Woolrich looking. He's got a man with him. It's Namdar. To Cha-Cha Namdar. Right back. Woolrich missed. He shot it just too high. Great unselfish play by Namdar, who had a chance to shoot it himself. Namdar battles along the boards with Frederickson. He'll win it for Woolrich. Great give and go. Look at this. Right back to Woolrich. A shot, score. What a great goal for San Diego. And that really shows you a lot of the great skills involved in indoor soccer, Shep. Great passing in tight quarters, and they make it count.
Gene, Woolrich, Cha-Cha, Nando, they couldn't do it the first time. Watch them do it this time. Here's Woolrich with his back to the goal. Now the defender, Bellinger, must leave Gene Woolrich. Watch him fake Slobo down with the first. There's the fake. And now dish it up, actually down. Slobo got a piece of it. But a tremendous give and go, finishing off with a goal for San Diego. Watch the pass come back to Woolrich. Watch the pump fake. That takes Slobo down. Slobo still gets a hand on it, but unfortunately knocks it down, bouncing up into the corner of the net.
If he got that, that would have been a great save. There's Woolrich, the goal scorer, 8th of the year from Namdar at 4:04. And if at first you don't succeed, you keep trying. Bandovich now with a shot. It's smothered by Zoltan Toth, and the Sockers open up their biggest lead of the day. 4-1. San Diego over St. Louis. Looking for more is Segota. For Woolrich. Off the boards, it's blocked by Bick. And Carl Rose will get it back. Right now, St. Louis does not want to get into a running game, run and gun with San Diego, or they could fall further behind. Sockers have a lot of firepower. Here's Lane with a good shot, and Zoltan Toth with an equally fine save. Lane, a tireless worker, taken down, a foul in San Diego, their second. Lane, quick restart to Bick. Right side, Davis will score. And how quickly you can come back into a game on that restart, Shep. There's no set rule. You play it as quickly as you can to get the advantage, and that's how they scored.
And that's a great, great play. Watch this confrontation. Redmond Lane on his knees gets up and wants to put that ball in play. There's the pass, first time to Ricky Davis. Davis with his right foot smacks that ball over Zoltan Toth. An unselfish play, an opportunistic goal, and it gets St. Louis back in the game.
Do not bury the Steamers, because Davis has put them within a couple of goals. His 8th of the year from Redmond Lane at 4:46. With Lane down on his knees, San Diego basically fell for it. They didn't think that St. Louis would restart so quickly. With Lane down, he made a great play. Now back from San Diego, putting off the boards. Carl Rose with a bicycle kick to get it out of there. Up for Bandovich. He and Collier battle, and Collier will play it back for Zoltan Toth.
That's great. The game getting wild now, just what the fans want to see. And don't underestimate that pass by Sammy Bick at the top of the box, setting Ricky Davis up for the goal.
On the right side, Segota taking it, blocked, loose, right in the box, and it's picked up right away.
We see Jungle racing up and down the field, arguing with the officials. No use arguing. Get back and play.
Sammy Bick looking. Rick Davis will get it as Quinn went down. Davis, right side, played it in the box. It doesn't get there. Here's Duran. Unselfish to Bick, and he just shot it too high. Davis off the boards. Doesn't go for him. St. Louis uses those boards as well as any team in the MISL.
Well, the identical play going to the other side, and St. Louis could easily have had that third goal. St. Louis now all of a sudden putting pressure all over San Diego.
Here they come again. McEwen the shot, and it stopped on the part of Zoltan Toth. I think I gave credit to Redmond Lane. I may have said he got the assist. He did not. Bick got the assist, but it was Lane who made the big play on the restart. If this were hockey and you give out 2 assists, Lane would have had one. Ball played into the left of the boards. Kroll. They're going to call a foul on Don Ebert. First Steamer foul of the quarter. 4-2 San Diego. It's played to Jungle, top of the box. Right side it goes. Clavillo. Back for Jungle. Shooting it in. Rose blocks it. Don't give it back to Jungle. He'll kill it. But Slobo was right there. You don't want to give Steve Jungle a second crack at it.
Oh, Steve Jungle on top of his game. When I see him lurking at the top of the box, not dishing it off, but pulling that trigger and unloading, I know he's hungry and he's on top of his game.
That is vintage Jungle. He's got a hand or foot in all three of the first goals. He did not have anything to do with that last one that San Diego scored. 4-2 Sockers are leading it. They get a break here. Ladouceur in the steal. For V, 2 on the goalkeeper. Ladouceur back for V, and he had a great shot. He passed it up. In the box, here's Ladouceur. Slobo committed to score. Trying to figure out, Shep, as San Diego takes a 5-2 lead, why St. Louis couldn't get back to help Slobo.
Well, this team will drive you crazy. Watch Julie V through the legs. Ladouceur at the top of the box. And now he puts it in. No chance at all. We missed the earlier attempt when Ladouceur should have taken the shot. Instead, he passed back to Julie V. At any rate, it ends up the same way. Watch Julie V. Here's the initial break. This shot should be taken. But he passes back to Julie V. The opportunity for the moment is thwarted. But now Julie V puts it back again. Oh, beautiful move. Slobo committed. And a goal and no chance at all.
So it's 5-2 for the San Diego Sockers. But the Steamers come back. Cacciatore drive blocked by Kevin Crow. That had Zoltan Toth down and leaving a lot of empty net. That ball might have found its way, and we've got a foul called on St. Louis, their second. Give that goal to Ladouceur, 6th of the year from Julie V at 6:52. So that's the second time in succession that San Diego should have had a goal, but the passing wasn't quite there. One player gave up a shot, and then they come right back. Wilrich did it with Namdar, and now Ladouceur and V.
Well, every coach will tell you the same thing, and Pat McBride reflecting his unhappiness. When you get an opportunity, you better bury it, or you're going to get punished the other way. In that case, Ladouceur and Julie V.
Look out here. On the right side, Kaz Dana with it. Slobo wanted a foul, and now they're going to call it. A little bit late. Slobo really upset, but the call is made, and it is the third foul. It should be the third on San Diego. Slobo coming out now. I think the score is a little bit misleading, though. St. Louis could be a lot closer than 3 goals down, but San Diego leads it 5-2. On the left side, Fredrickson cutting, trying to play in the box. Crow breaks it up. Petcher, long shot, blocked. He was looking for Ebert for a rebound. Fredrickson winning it. Back for Makowski, 70 feet out. In a few strides. Against him is Kaz Dana. Makowski right side. Fredrickson playing it back off a deflection off Perez, and now Ricky Davis will pick it up. Davis, nice cut. He's tripped. Is that going to be 2? Yes, it is. I was looking for Bill Maxwell on the opposite side to make the call, but Brian Hall made it the other way.
Let's get a look at it again. I think it's Hugo Perez. Yes, it is. Perez stepping up, taking down Ricky Davis. Ricky goes into a dive that's arguably a 9.9 or else a legitimate foul.
You want to argue if it's arguably one of those? Let's see. It's 5-2. San Diego leading as we look at Ron Newman very upset. We'll see what happens when we return. The Steamers will have a power play.
Your house could be a...
Some of those fans enjoying MISL action. More than 1 million fans have passed through the turnstiles already this season. There's Hugo Perez, and whether Davis tried to draw that foul or not, on the replay, you can see that Davis really got whacked pretty hard in the knee, I thought, Shep, and at least from this angle and Brian Hall's angle, it looked like a penalty.
I think it was a good call. You know, the officials have to know the players. They know Ricky Davis as a player. Ricky is a bull of a player with tremendous balance and strength, and they know he has that move to his right. When they see him taken down on that play, they're going to give that 2-minute call.
Look out, shorthanded. Lead ball for Clavillo from Namdar. The shot stopped by Slobo, and it goes into the crowd, and Slobo had to come up big, or else that could have been 6-2 San Diego. Listen to the crowd getting involved here in San Diego, where last year this team set their all-time record attendance, drawing over 230,000 to this building.
Oh, they love the Sockers here. Slobo backpedaling on that counterattack. To give up a shorthanded goal at this point would have been devastating, but Slobo in the proper position kicks it out for a corner kick for San Diego.
And Clavillo, for a defender, very impressive shorthanded. He's got 2 shorthanded already this season.
Well, Fernando Clavillo is a speed burner, and that's what it takes to score shorthanded goals. The opportunity to win the ball at the top of the power play and have speed to get upfield.
Jungle was looking for Clavillo in the box that time on the set piece. Remember, San Diego down a man, but you wouldn't know it right there. 6:45 to go. Third quarter, 5-2 Steamers, down by 3, a minute 40 on the power play. They could sure use a goal here. On the left wing side, Lane off the boards. He wanted Ebert. Davis trying to follow it up, broken up by Brian Quinn. Quinn almost lost it to Duran. That could have been disaster because Ebert was all alone in the box. Played up now to Kevin Crow, the MISL Defender of the Year from last season, to Namdar. Shot blocked by the right foot of Slobo Ilievsky. So Slobo's made 2 big saves while his team has had the man advantage. Zoltan Tov has not had any action the other way.
Well, the key is patience on the power attack. Now the ball is properly going back to Carl Rose. Don't be impetuous. Work for that good shot.
They've got the extra man. Play with a little patience, and that's what Rose is doing to Davis on the right. Davis reverses left side to Redmond Lane. Now to Rose in the middle. Carl Rose looking for Redmond Lane a little deeper. Shot off the boards. Duran mishandles it. He was looking for that rebound. If he could have controlled it, he would have been able to put that one right back at goal.
St. Louis always looking for Ebert at the far post.
Redmond Lane to Carl Rose. 33 seconds left. Quick shot punched out by Toth. In the corner, Davis got a piece of it. Crow gets the rest for Brian Quinn. He may go. Quinn over midfield, down to the attack zone. Has Katakalitis with him. He's just going to kill some of that time, but Ebert came back to win it. 17 seconds left in the power play, and St. Louis must remember that Perez will come out, and he'll get right back into the attack, so you've got to be careful. Now it's 8 seconds left in the power play. Davis to Lane. Redmond outside the box. Shot is blocked by Katakalitis. Sends it up the field for Quinn, heading it for Perez, and there's Slobo. He knows where Perez is, but we've got a whistle, which I did not hear with the roar of the crowd. A foul called on St. Louis. It will be their 3rd.
Well, there's no doubt Carl Rose going up with Brian Quinn for the head ball. The crowd reacts as that call goes against St. Louis, and the power play is over.
Quinn knew that Perez was coming out, and he was going to head it that way. Here's Perez. Dana running into open space. Jungle all alone on the left. Kaz Dana tried to pass it, but Ilievsky blocked the pass. Jungle was wide open, and Dana wanted it. They'll try again for Jungle. Steve Jungle, 1 goal, a couple of assists today. It's a 5-2 San Diego lead. Gary Collier holding it. For Perez, quick flick as he went head over heels, but Ilievsky is there for Don Ebert. So St. Louis misses an opportunity to narrow that gap on the power play. Now it is Bellinger. To the boards. Jungle. Did he foul Cacciatore? Yes. 4:15 to go in the 3rd quarter. San Diego on top 5-2. Tell you a player we've not seen in a while, Shep, is Nebo Bandovich. He is on the St. Louis bench, very close to Pat McBride, but I don't recall seeing him at all in this 3rd quarter. Don't know if he was hurt or not. Long ball that Zoltan Toth mishandles, but San Diego will still get it. Nope, Cacciatore will win it. Good hustle by the Steamers, even though they're 3 down. Fredericks into the box, even with a great deflection. St. Louis is still in it. 5-3, they trail, but what a big goal for Don Ebert. But it's winning the ball on those boards when Cacciatore gets it that keeps the Steamers alive.
That's a great ball. Cacciatore never gives up. Once that pass comes to Ebert, he's stuck behind Clavillo, and he tucks it in the back of the net. Don Ebert, great goal for St. Louis.
Say, if you're St. Louis and you're Pat McBride, you still got to be happy with the way the Steamers have kept up this pace. They're down 5-3. We'll have more for you right after this.
This Bugs was already moving out. Cacciatore originally won the ball. That created the confusion on the part of San Diego, and Dan Ebert tucked it away. A great goal for St. Louis.
Ebert's second of the game, 13th goal of the season. Woolritz looking long for V, but Slobo-Ilievsky is right there, so San Diego going long ball that time. Slobo with a lob up the field for Bellinger, now to Cacciatore. Controls it, now feeds for Bellinger. Run down by Julie V. There's Cacciatore. V, nice tackle. He's going to win the ball for San Diego. Now look at Cacciatore again. Great hustle. Cacciatore double team and now loses it. Perez running it back. 3-on-4. But there's Hermes that will score. On a 3-on-4, San Diego gets one right back. They just won't let the Steamers get close. 6-3.
Whoa, the crowd can't believe it. Goals at both ends. Watch Cacciatore. There's Hermes. He takes the ball away. He gives it to Perez. Watch Hugo Perez. A great player. He's had a tough game so far, but what a pass. Hermes through the legs of Slobo-Ilievsky. Slobo handcuffed on the shot. And watch again the pass with the outside of the left foot. The killer pass. Slobo handcuffed as Hermes cracks it with the left foot. A great, great goal that took place from one red line with the interception all the way down to goal.
The intensity's still there. Hermes' first goal of the year from Perez at 11:33. So St. Louis still trails, or I should say again trails by 3. As Banovich is out for his first shift of the third quarter, and he's guilty. I thought they were going to say he was guilty. They're going to call a foul on San Diego instead. That's for San Diego 4 fouls, and there are 3 on St. Louis. Makowski putting it in play for Lane in the corner. Redmond tightly marked on the play by Katakalitis, but he gets it through. It's loose through the box. Now trying to send it back is Julie V, and he does to Zoltan Toth. Zoltan, the MISL's defensive player of the week last week, had a 9-0 shutout over Wichita. Wichita in first place for a good part of the year, now in second. San Diego just ahead of them. Races are very tight in both divisions. Parity seemingly settling in here in the MISL. Right side, Banovich took the ball away from Segota. Nebo trying to hook that shot in, but Kevin Crowe is there with a block. Segota coming back. It's 3-on-3, but San Diego with a player wide open now is Jungle. Segota couldn't give him the good ball. There's Jungle looking to give it back for Bronco. It was blocked, but Steve will try it again. Jungle looking. He's got Collier wide open. He tried to play the tough ball into Segota, and he got beat. But look at Katakalitis. In the box, he wanted Jungle. Rick Davis breaks it up. Jungle was wide open. Now Banovich 2-on-1. Nebo sees Makowski. It's a little bit behind him, so that negates the break. Makowski high off the glass it goes. Duran hustling in after it. Kicked away. Petcher and Jungle go for it. Still loose. Now Petcher will pick it up. Steve Petcher leading it on the left for Makowski. Outside of the box, Makowski looking for Banovich. Muscling with him is Collier. It's played in the box, sent out. Quick shot off the boards. Almost beat Zoltan Toth off his backside.
Makowski got a piece of that, a very difficult angle, but again, St. Louis applying pressure all over, really interrupting the flow of the game for San Diego. San Diego, the championship team that they are, still on top 6-3.
Play to McEwen now. He looked for Banovich, but it's behind him. A couple of crisp passes in the last 30 seconds or so, and St. Louis might have had a goal. They had the 2-on-1 break, but Banovich passed to Makowski a little bit behind him, and they were unable to really get off a good shot. 1:16 to go. Third quarter, San Diego leads over St. Louis 6-3. Steve Jungle broken up. Petcher will take it back over midfield. Petcher dumped on the play, but he finds its way to McEwen. Didn't get enough on it. Tossed up the field. Jungle blocked by Makowski, and he takes it away. The crowd trying to let their feelings be known here in San Diego. Their team up 6-3. Duran to Petcher. Right side, Makowski. Stallings is on for his first shift. The rookie from SIU. Played on the left side of Daryl Duran. Now to Petcher. It's deflected in the box. Quick shot. Stallings will score the goal. On his first shift, Bill Stallings will get his first professional goal.
Oh, what a great chance for the kids. Stallings. St. Louis all over the place. They will not let San Diego come out. Watch San Diego putting pressure on. First it's Petcher. Petcher with a pass in the box. It looks like it's being cleared. But no, it's into the box. And watch Stallings. He's going to pick up that loose ball. Turn on a dime with the left foot. A surprised, flat-footed San Diego defense. Zoltan Toth with no chance as Stallings ducked behind the defense, tucked that ball away.
That was a very fine pivot he made. He is a first-round draft pick out of SIU Edwardsville, where a lot of the Steamer players have come from. Up the left side now for Perez. And a foul on St. Louis. It will be their fourth. They will give credit to Durant for the assist. Played into the box, and Rose just swept it away. Ron Newman can't be pleased with that goal because it came with 36 seconds to go in the quarter. Foul on San Diego. That is 5 on the Sockers with 19 seconds to go in the third quarter. And St. Louis hanging tough.
Crazy game. San Diego with so much talent all over the place. But to take a 3-goal lead, only to be denied by St. Louis, get themselves back into the game.
10 seconds left. That goal by the rookie Stallings has to be a big lift for the Steamers. Lead pass Clavillo, too long. Carl Rose trying to win it. I thought fouled him. If they call that, that would have been the 6th foul, and that's what Mark Frederickson is asking about. But apparently, they are not going to make that call. So we're at the end of 3 quarters, and the next goal looms is a big one. Pat McBride out on the field, and he is very, very upset. It is 6-4. San Diego leading it. Pat McBride and the Steamers and the Sockers. Great action up and down, intensity, big saves by the keepers, and some controversy, Shep, with some fouls that were called and some that were not called. And the crowd really gets into the indoor game.
No doubt about it.
They may get into it here. Jungle 3-on-1. Wilrich right back. There it is. Hugo Perez says that was easy. Well, that's not a good way for St. Louis to start the fourth quarter. 18 seconds into it, they allow a 3-on-1 break, and this guy, Jungle, leads it.
And here's Jungle at the point of the 3-on-1. Carl Rose with no chance at all as Jungle dishes it off to Wilrich and then to Perez. Look at Perez. Yeah, it's great to score a goal. And watch Jungle. He does what you should do on a fast break. Come to the top of the point. Come to the center. Now that ball comes to the far post to the Perez, Hugo Perez. And we've been on him a little bit this game. He wasn't on his game. He is a great player and a deserved goal for Hugo Perez.
18 seconds into the quarter. Ebert trying to get one back for St. Louis as he's pushed down. And they're going to call that one on Don Ebert. And he voices his displeasure. That was a little close, wasn't it? In the corner. Ebert has to give off 10 feet as Collier puts it in play. Now to the keeper, Zoltan Toth. San Diego leads it 7-4. Long toss the other way. Jungle got a piece, but not enough. Fortunately for Slovo, you don't want to see Jungle walking in on you alone. It's bad enough 3-on-1.
Pat McBride's got to be sick about that start of the fourth quarter. He told us before the game, all he wants to do is be close by the fourth quarter. 2-goal difference is close.
Wilrich leading it 3-on-2. In the box. Played it back, but Cacciatore is there. The big thing, though, Shep, is that he probably had his team all fired up, or so he thought, especially after that Stallings goal. Here's Ebert. They make it right back into it. Cacciatore on the right, pulls Toth out of the net, but Zoltan makes the block on it. Just got a hand on it. Segota waits for the ball. Gets bumped by Bick. Foul is going to be called. They're going to call it dangerous play. And that one is going on San Diego. Off the restart, Redmond Lane to Bick. Back for Lane. Takes the shot. Zoltan got a piece, but then lost it, but no harm done because there was no Steamer right out in front of him. Jungle coming back. The league's leading scorer. Look at this move in the box. Quinn on the backfield flick. But he doesn't come in there and get it because Slovo was right there. But some great imagination on the part of the Sockers. We've got another foul being called right in front of the Steamers bench. One of the people I should point out, too, a very class individual, somebody, Shep, that you faced during your seasons, Tony Glavin. Had to retire because of some bad knees. Now the assistant coach of the St. Louis Steamers. What a loss that was to that franchise.
Well, you can't give a guy like Tony Glavin enough credit. Just a wonderful gentleman, a great player, now assistant coach to Pat McBride. And I'm sure he's into this game, screaming on the bench with Pat McBride.
Bellinger, lead pass cut off by Clavillo. We may see the game start to open up even more now as St. Louis is down by 3 in the last quarter. Right side, it is Bellinger. good work rate on the part of both of these clubs. They've really gone at it. And we haven't played 60 minutes yet, but I think at the end of 60, you can say that both teams worked all the way through it. Back the other way. It's played on the right side. Lattiser, who has 1 goal today, takes the shot up high. That was rising, but Slovo is right there. Bellinger telling him to settle it down a little bit, and he'll bring it up the field. Lead pass off the far boards. Nebo Bandovic. Double team. Spins away. Has Toth coming out, but Zoltan blocked the angle. He couldn't get it by him. And back come the Sockers. Rod Hermes, who scored his first goal of the season earlier in this game. San Diego up 7-4 now, starting to dictate the pace once more, like they were doing, Shep, in the second quarter.
Well, JP, every coach will tell you, just get the next goal. It is 7-4, but over 12 minutes to go in the game. That's a whole lot of time in the MISL. And every coach, and I'm sure Pat McBride on the St. Louis bench, is saying, let's get the next goal. That's all we're going to worry about.
They've been doing that all day. Coming back, Bandovic. Blocked, he'll get around his man, Katakalitis. A great chance. Score! Nebo Bandovic. I had to wait on the call for that one because Toth got a piece, and from our angle, I couldn't tell if it was going in. There's a pained look on Bandovic's part because he got a little punishment, but he scored the goal.
That's right here. Off of Katakalitis, and now he streaks for the goal. 3 San Diego players converging. Zoltan coming out to try and make the save, and being tunneled, the ball going under his left leg. Nebo Bandovic picking up a big goal by winning that ball in the midfield and going one-on-one with Zoltan.
I think you'll like this. I was in St. Louis for his debut. He scored 3 goals. The fans threw hats out on the field. He started to return them. He was not aware of the custom here in America for the hat trick. And that night was a big night for Nebo, and now he has 9 goals in the season. At 4:14, it is unassisted. Duran playing it on the left side of Makowski. This has been a pattern this entire game. St. Louis falling down by a couple, then by 3, and then they come right back. Here's a 2-on-1 if Perez can get it, but Petcher was right there. Off the board, so he gives it up. V, not where you want to put him if you're St. Louis. Perez shooting it wide. Now Dana to V. Julie V trying to set it back, blocked by Stallings. St. Louis coming back. San Diego fans wanted a handball as Davis leads it for Stallings, who has his first professional goal. That looked like a very big one, but then San Diego came back and scored another. Petcher by the penalty arc. Davis turns, fires it, it's blocked. Crow got a piece with some help from Clavillo defensively. Now V back for Clavillo. 10:45 to go. And like you were saying before, Shep, it's a long time left in this game. So with St. Louis getting that goal, if they can just keep San Diego from scoring, they'll have more chances.
JP, the game's crazy because San Diego with so much talent. Every time I look down on that floor, I can't believe the lineup they put out. Their first line, their second line, Brian Quinn. Now we watch St. Louis coming down again.
Toth got a piece of that. We've got a foul in 2 minutes. Makowski upset. I see Segota just getting up away from our camera position, so I'm speculating that Makowski must have roughed him up along the boards, and we'll see it here, shoulder to shoulder. Well, from that angle, very tough to see, but Makowski gets 2, and he was given a yellow card right after that. 7-5, San Diego with a power play coming up when we return. Makowski, who has 4 minutes. That yellow card was an additional penalty for an unsportsmanlike conduct, I would presume, Shep, for saying a little bit too much to Bill Maxwell. So this is not a good situation for St. Louis. They've got 6 shorthanded goals, but their work is now cut out for 4 minutes. And if they keep San Diego off the board completely, but they don't score, they're down to about 6 minutes.
There's Makowski in the box. Look at the 3 guys we picked out before the game. Steve Jungle tonight, 1 goal, 2 assists. Branko Segota, a goal and an assist. Hugo Perez, 1 goal and 1 assist. Cornerstone for the San Diego team.
All it shows, Shep, is that you know how to pick them. Now, who did we say for St. Louis? You had Ebert, Davis, and Durant. Ebert's got a couple of goals so far.
Let's get back to the situation right now. Greg Makowski in the box. That descent really hurt the St. Louis Steamers. 2-minute penalty for the tackle on Branko Segota is one thing. The descent sends him to the box for 4 minutes.
That's like the Perez situation, isn't it? The frustration and the mental mistake more than the physical. Woolrich to Jungle. 7-5 San Diego. Back for Jungle. Woolrich, Jungle. Right across, he wanted Segota or Quinn, but it was right in the middle of both.
JP, we talked earlier about the poor position of San Diego on that power play, 10th in the league. You're right, I don't believe it either. They have to be a scary team to go a man down against.
Jungle makes his cut, takes the shot. It's blocked by 2 players, but V will get the ball. Back here, what a great idea, but nobody there for San Diego. Here's Durant from Bellinger. Quickly, St. Louis thinks offensive. 6 shorthanded goals is amazing. Durant cuts outside. Working hard to get it back is Quinn. Quinn in trouble a bit there. Durant trying to muscle him along the boards, but Quinn will come right back, wasting little time. Back up the field. 2:59 to go on the power play. So the Steamers have killed off a little bit better than a minute so far. Segota, if they could kill it all, this could be a turning point in the game. Quick shot taken now is blocked by Davis. It stays in play. Woolrich back to Jungle. Jungle on the left. Segota blocked. Fredrickson leads it for Petcher. Davis trying to join in on the run. Fredrickson out of gas coming to the bench. They want somebody fresher, and CACCIATORE comes on. Off Davis' foot. CACCIATORE now joining the play. Jeff holding it. Looking back for Davis, and it's taken away. Right side for Quinn. Segota streaks for goal. Bronco, the shot. Great save, Slobo. One of his better saves of the game.
That's the best save of the game for me. Slobo on the short end of a 2-on-1 comes up with a big save for St. Louis.
Woolrich in the corner for Quinn. Back for Woolrich. Point-blank save. Slobo really tested the body on that. I guess, Shep, with the score and the time being what it is, you'd have to call that the biggest save, because if that goes in, it's 8-5 with time running out.
Well, if that ball's in the net, this game is history, but Slobo keeps the team in. And you're right, from an emotional standpoint, if they could dodge a bullet on the 4-minute penalty, gives St. Louis a little bit of momentum.
13 saves for Slobo, and a couple in the last minute or so. Clavillo to Segota. On the left for Julie V.
We talk about St. Louis being tenacious, getting back in the game. I'm in awe about the skill of the San Diego team. Perhaps that's not why they don't do well on the power play. They're not playing it traditionally. They're playing it with individual skill.
Perez, Jungle, right back. Segota cracks it. Look at the way San Diego cleared the way. They saw Segota coming in. They gave him the clear shot, and he put San Diego up by 3.
St. Louis players shaking their head. Watch Jungle. Petcher dives in for the tackle. This ball set off by Hugo Perez, and now they clear the way. They see Branco lining up with a cannon. No chance at all. And again, this play created by individual effort.
Clavillo just got out of the way, and there's a look at it to the near side. We have an officials covered. A lot of big games this week in the MISL. If you live in an MISL city, we hope you go out and support your local team. The action is fast and it is furious, and this kind of a game, I think, typifies what indoor soccer, Shep, is all about.
Well, the crowd's behind us.
Left. This is a lot of time left, but Pat McBride taking the gamble. Makowski, who plays the 6th attacker as well as anyone in this league. to Lane, a quick shot punched out by Zoltan Toth. Segota. Bronco, who had that last goal, it's his 22nd of the year, and look out, he's free. Makowski backing up. Dished out the Jungle, a big shot too high off the glass. Durant controlling. Rose got kicked from behind by Jungle, and I think Carl tried to act that one a little bit, but he doesn't get it.
I have to like Pat McBride pulling the keeper with this much time. He's not here to play a competitive game. He's here to win. On the other hand, I can't see holding San Diego scoreless, playing with a 6th attacker for over 7 minutes.
Carl Rose holding it to Makowski. The 6th attacker can use his hands in the box. He has the same privileges as a goalkeeper. Rose holding it. On the right side for Davis. In a corner, Durant. Toth got a piece of that. Davis tripped up, and we've got a foul. Makowski, who is the 6th attacker, remember earlier on our pregame program, we showed Makowski tying the goal with just seconds left, getting the tying goal against Cleveland, and St. Louis won it in overtime. Here's Rose's shot deflected. St. Louis had Durant on the doorstep, too. You still get the feeling St. Louis is going to get another goal. It's 8-5. They trail. They've come back this entire game. Makowski shot a little bit off. Collier clearing it. Carl Rose back for it.
The timing is so important. We see so much time left in the 4th quarter that San Diego is not pressuring, trying to nip a goal, steal a goal. They're content to sit back and defend 5 against 6. Very interesting matchup.
And wait for the break. Rick Davis sending it back out to Carl Rose. Some big offensive players are out there right now for San Diego if they can get the ball. On the right side, Davis in the corner. Looking, he's got Durant wide open at the far post. Quick shot and a score. Don Ebert will have the hat trick. St. Louis down by 2. It's 8-6, but Don Ebert will now come up with his 14th goal of the year. And Shep, tell us how.
There's the pump fake that made the goal possible. Pump fake from Ricky. Gets the ball to Don Ebert with his right foot. Players accuse Don Ebert of just standing on his right foot. He's a volatile left-footed player. In this case, he pumped it in with the right. We'll be back in a moment.
In San Diego, John Paul Della Camera with Shep Messing. We talked earlier about how defensively this league has been getting better. 1 goal less per game on the average, but you wouldn't tell by this game anything about the word defense, except for some big saves the keepers have made. You may have heard that whistle like I did, but it came from the stands, and now Crow will kick it back to Zoltan Toth. 8 goals for San Diego as Ebert and Crow push at one another. 8 goals for San Diego, 6 for St. Louis. Ebert and Crow, they both going. Let's see. I think they're going to take the both.
Well, there's no doubt he showed that blue card, the 2-minute penalty to both players. You got to love the spirit out there. I love it. Don Ebert, Kevin Crow, 2 of the best players in the history of American soccer, and they're at it.
And they're going to be in the box for a couple of minutes apiece. Pat McBride still going with a 6th attacker. You can change that. You can go back and forth on that 6th attacker. But Pat, looking at the time, liking the way that his team played with that 6th attacker, chose to keep MAKOWSKI out there. Now let's see what happens as Greg is over there getting some instruction. We're looking at Don Ebert. What a game Ebert has had. Remember, in the first quarter, he got banged along the boards, and he really almost was out. He was given ice by Bill Jennings right away. He was very woozy. Didn't look like he knew where he was. He came back, and he scored 3 times today. 8-6, San Diego leading over a St. Louis team that just won't quit. And you know what, Shep? We talked earlier as well about the fact that the key to St. Louis had to be to keep them in a low-scoring game. I still don't think any team can match San Diego and beat them 11-10 or 10-9 unless they get lucky. But St. Louis may prove that to be wrong.
We absolutely predicted the best way for them to stay in the game was keep the score down.
What do we know?
Their tenacity all over the field. Every time they go down by 3, they pump in that all-important next goal to get them back to a 2-goal deficit.
This is the kind of game where if St. Louis loses, what could Pat McBride say to his troops after the game? I mean, they've played their hearts out. They could have quit several times today against a very strong San Diego team, but they're still in it. 8-6, they're down by a couple. MAKOWSKI still out there as the 6th attacker. And right now, maybe we should call it the 5th attacker because it is 4 players aside. We'll create some new terms for the MISL. It's played back to Zoltan Toth. Banovich out there for the Steamers. His last goal helped bring the Steamers right back. But then San Diego scored with Segota, and then Ebert scored. Segota now coming back with Jungle. Jungle looking for Quinn on the right. Too deep. Quinn looking back the other way.
And this is tough, JP. With those 2 men in the penalty box, Pat McBride makes the decision to stay with a 6th attacker. I think it's more difficult now because there's more space on the field for San Diego to hold the ball.
Jungle to Quinn. I like to see it when you have 4-on-4 because it does open up the field and you can see some great individual players looking to work in that open space.
But it makes it much more difficult 4-on-4 to pull your goalkeeper and now go 5-on-4. So much space for San Diego to operate with.
Especially with this man, Jungle, but he's blocked by Carl Rose on a nice play. MAKOWSKI now coming out a little slow. Pat McBride shouting the instructions from the Steamers bench as Carl Rose brings it over the midfield line. Into the attack zone to the right side. Rick Davis, nice cut on the ball. Nice cut back to the outside. Lost the shoe as he did a battle for the ball there. He lost his right shoe. It comes back the other way. Carl Rose after it. Davis is not going to waste time. He's going to go to the bench and put it on so that the Steamers can get somebody else out there. Smart play by Davis. He doesn't have time to put that shoe on there. In outdoor soccer, you would have seen that because you would have had a lot more time and less chance of a quick goal to be scored. Here's MAKOWSKI. A shot. Almost goes far post. Rebound shot. Zoltan stopped it. Darryl Duran would like to get another crack at that one.
Oh, great agility by Zoltan Toth. Beaten on the play. Zoli recovered. Now Ebert on the steal.
Ebert is back on with Crow, needless to say, and Ebert makes a nice move. Takes the shot, and it goes out of play, but great hustle on the part of Don Ebert. He came right out of the box and right into the play. 8-6. San Diego leading it But had Darryl Duran been able to stuff home that rebound, Shep, it would have been a one-goal game, and that would have made things interesting. And right now we see St. Louis wanting to call a timeout to talk things over. This is not going to be an easy 7, but a very noisy group. It's been the kind of a game, Shep, where you really test all of the emotions of a fan.
Well, that's for sure. The fans in San Diego, just terrific. They're behind their club. They feel they have another championship club. For some reason, they like to come out and watch San Diego play against St. Louis. They had a sellout last time St. Louis was here. They were entertained to another great game today.
Well, they're getting their money's worth and more as we look at Zoltan Toth. He's going to be a little tired, I think, when this is over. A lot of big games this week in the major indoor soccer league, and the action starts off very early in the week. We see Wichita at Kansas City, Cleveland at Minnesota, first place team Minnesota, Cleveland in second, Baltimore at Tacoma, and everybody plays on Friday. If you live in an MISL city, go out and support your club. Makowski with a shot that doesn't get through the screen as Rose tries to come back. Carl Rose is blocked. Makowski reacts, wins the ball, but San Diego will get it back for Zoltan Toth. 3:12 to go. The clock, the important piece now, as San Diego leads by a couple. 8-6. Greg Makowski coming back for the Steamers.
And again, the strategy for St. Louis, get it out to the point. Try and get that shot that he just took down low to a Don Ebert or a Darryl Duran lurking by the far post.
Well, I'll tell you, the gamble has paid off for Pat McBride. They have not given up a goal since they had their 6th attacker, and they did score the last one on the part of Don Ebert, his 14th of the year and his 3rd of the game. The assist went to Rick Davis. Zoltan Toth will be putting it in play. Don't forget, next week on ESPN, we shift to Wichita. Los Angeles Lasers against the Wichita Wings in a Western Division matchup. On the right side, Clavijo looking for Wilrich. Makowski backing up at a goal. Wide open on the opposite side with Segota, but they can't find him. Ebert takes a bump from Wilrich, but dishes it off to Carl Rose. 2:43 to go in the game, or at least in regulation time. If it's tied at the end of regulation time, we go into 15 minutes of sudden death overtime, or the first goal wins it. Davis in front. Ebert, great save. Toth, another shot. Blocked by Zoltan Toth. That should have been an 8-7 game right there as Wilrich brings it back. All the way up the field. Leads it for Julie V in the left corner. Off the boards. Segota, free score. Off a deflection. But San Diego may have done it right there with that goal, Shep. 9-6, that should be the killer. But Don Ebert robbed. Zoltan Toth may have made his biggest save of the day.
I'm afraid to say anything's for sure. Watch Julie V dig this ball out of the corner. He's going to get it to the top of the box, off the boards to Branko Segota. Segota with the left foot. Oh, off Redmond Lane, deflected into the corner, past Greg Makowski, and 9-6.
Sandy will probably be the offensive player of the game.
I'll tell you, I'm afraid to say anything is final here. Again, we had the big save by Zoltan, and then a goal at the other end.
Jungle trying to flick it out. Petra almost had a whack at the goal. 2:04 to go. San Diego leading it now 9-6. Carl Rose off the boards for Ebert. Now to Redmond Lane. Blocked. San Diego looking for it. Lane continues to work hard, but it's blocked one more time. Segota lifting it. Lane heading it for Ebert. Back to Carl Rose. 9-6 San Diego. Rose setting it in on goal. Blocked. Rebound. Comes all the way back. A chase for the ball. It's going to go wide. A goal. Jungle and Makowski. Makowski going down, and it's given up to Segota. Against him is Rose. To Jungle. Segota. Score! Well, if we show you that again, Chet, you can count all the passes back and forth, but they basically were toying. They had Carl Rose there, and neither player really wanted to kill it.
Well, watch Jungle. Back to Segota. Segota finishes it off against Carl Rose. This crowd going absolutely wild here in San Diego. Jungle and Segota. What a show they put on today.
Give Branko 4 goals on the day. 24th of the season from Steve Jungle. He's only 24 years old. He started his career at 17. The head coach of the Pittsburgh Spirit, Don Popovic, your former coach, brought him here, and what a player. If you were going to start a franchise today, that's probably the guy you started with. On the right side, CACCIATORE. In the box, a shot to score from Bandovich. I'm running out of space, Shep, on my score sheet.
The St. Louis Steamers refused to quit. and never say never, right off the kickoff. Here's St. Louis taking the ball in the midfield. San Diego still celebrating that jungle to SEGOTA goal. And here it comes into the corner. CACCIATORE off the boards that they've used all day long to Nebo Bandovic. And he tucks it under Zoltan Toth. St. Louis once again on the board.
If you're a Steamer fan, you've got to be proud of these guys. Still working hard. Bandovic's second goal of the game, 10th of the year, and it comes 10 seconds after that last goal for San Diego. Just when you think the Steamers should be deflated, they come right back. Slobo is back in goal, and you see him there. Plays it on the right. And Slobo's going to go up the field a little bit. Petra now off the left wing boards for Fredrickson. Bumped by Quinn, and we've got a foul on Brian Quinn. And the Steamers want 2 minutes, and they're going to get it because, again, the Sockers kick the ball down the field. Well, I'll tell you, you can pick up some real bad habits, Shep, in a game like this.
Yeah, but the crowd loves it. And I'll tell you what, when the players are done with this game, they're going to love it, too, looking back. It's got a bit of everything. And now we go to an interesting situation. 51 seconds left. San Diego, I believe, being penalized.
Yep. Quinn's in there. Quinn's in the box for a couple. They show 51 seconds, though, up there. And obviously that's not right. So Quinn will sit out for 2 minutes for delay of game. It's basically an unsportsmanlike conduct, too, when you're kicking it out there. Jungle continues to lead the MISL in scoring. Updated, he has 45, but SEGOTA, 43. Tattoo with 40 on the right side. Quick shot, and that goes up into the crowd. Out of play. We talked before about how competitive the MISL has been. It's tough for a visiting team to win on the road. But Friday night, 3 visiting clubs all won on the road. So it just shows you what can happen on a given night at the MISL. Pittsburgh won in Chicago. Dallas won in double overtime in Cleveland, the longest game ever played in the MISL during the regular season. 2 overtimes that one went. And Baltimore beat Wichita in Wichita, which is tough to do. 2 players going down. They're calling that foul on Ladisor. What a quick restart that was. Redmond Lane the other way, 25 seconds left. This resembling more of a football score, 10-7. San Diego. Bandovic trying to cut, can't make the shot. Rose does, but that one goes upstairs as well. And that's a young soccer fan ducking into the aisles. This is going to be a goal kick coming up. Zoltan Toth, as we look at the San Diego bench. That's Johan Arnio with the dark hair. Doesn't get a lot of recognition, but he has been Ron Newman's assistant for the past 5 years and now travels with the team.
And Ron Newman, one of the great ones, he said his goal is to have 1 more goal than the other team at the end of the game, and I think he's got that today.
Ladisor upended by Rose. That's going to be 2 minutes. 9 seconds are left in the game. This is not the kind of game, Shep, where the coaches will say, great game. But it's a game where the fans will talk about it in their nearby tavern or on their ride home or wherever they go. It's the kind of a game that sells tickets. I think for indoor soccer, it's had everything.
Watch Carl Rose here on Ladisor. Carl Rose in for the ball. Ladisor actually leaning into him. Carl Rose says, no way I'm going to let you go unmolested to the goal. And he takes him down and gets the penalty.
And for Brian Quinn, that penalty that he had earlier will give him 20 minutes. That means he will now miss the next game. And now he's the first player to do that. Jungle is coming out with a goalkeeper's jersey on. He was playing a little bit with Zoltan Toth. So Steve Jungle, as we see him there, becomes Shep Messing an MISL goalkeeper for 9 seconds.
Well, I don't know. Ron Newman has been criticized for this in the past. 9 seconds to go in the game. A 10-7 score. Ron Newman pulling his goalkeeper to go to the super power play. 6 attackers against 4 St. Louis players. Again, Ron been criticized in the past for it. His answer, I'm going to score as many goals as I can in the game, and you never know when it may help. St. Louis irate about it.
And maybe that's why they're taking Slobo out. And they're going to put MAKOWSKI back in. Jungle's second appearance as a goalkeeper. But I get the feeling he's not going to face any shots. 9 seconds are left. 9
seconds to go, and I'll tell you, if this ball ends in 9 seconds in the corner, I won't be surprised to see extracurricular activities. None of the players like what's happening right now.
Ebert tried to send it long. It's blocked. He sends it long again. Jungle got a piece of that. But you're right. People don't like to see that. The players don't like to see that in the end. So it's good that it ends this way. Ron Newman making his way to Pat McBride. They're both glad, I'm sure, that this one is over. A wild beginning to the game, a wild middle, and a wild finish. This game had everything, all kinds of goals. If you like goals, if you like offense, you saw it here today. We'll wrap it up for you when we return, but there's the final. San Diego has defeated St. Louis 10-7. For that man, Ron Newman. More importantly, in the MISL, he has now won 13 and lost 6. This is tradition with a lot of teams in the MISL, Shep. Some of the players do a victory lap, and Ron Newman really gets involved with the fans.
What a great coach and what a great individual for the MISL as we get a look at those MISL leading scorers.
Jungle, before today's game, had 41 points. Segota had 38. Tattoo with 40. 38 for Boha and 36 for Allen, and like magic, it changes. Jungle with 45, Segota with 43. Great performance today from Bronco Segota. He had 4 goals. He gets my pick, Shep, and probably yours, I would think, as the offensive player of the game. I don't know how you'd pick a defensive player of the game when there are 17 goals that are scored. The MISL has some unpredictable games, and I think you could be very safe to say that this was one of them, with San Diego winning it 10-7. So that will wrap things up for us up here. We'd like to thank the Director of Public Relations for the Major Indoor Soccer League, Jeremiah Enright, for his help. And for Shep Messing, I'm John Paul Della Camera. The final score from San Diego: the Sockers defeat the St. Louis Steamers 10-7.